seen this happen successfully before, where a company is basically saying, look toward the future, look at what we can be someday, and completely rebranding.
Really hard to do because people want to know what you are. And then say, sometimes for startups, they can pitch themselves to investors and say, look, we're losing money. We don't have the product's not working yet, but one day we'll have the product, and some advertisers want to be on that bleeding edge. But in Twitter's case or X case, until they develop a product, or rather an experience that people say, hey, I want to be part of that experience, and their only business model is to sell ad space, it's just a question of how fast it will go down the drain and he'll just turn off the lights and leave. Because for Elon, losing $40 billion is not something he wants to do, but it's something that won't make a difference. Because while he's struggling with Twitter, Tesla is doing incredibly well, and the only way to get a space satellite in orbit is to write a big check to him for a SpaceX rocket. So he's making tons of money on his inventions, and fixing Twitter is not going to, it's unlikely going to happen, and it probably doesn't make that much difference to him. From an ego point of view, he wanted to do it, but it's a different skill set to invent a product and to orchestrate an experience.
So switching gears a little bit, I have to ask you this question. Alan, is all press good press?
If you're only trying to build awareness, most press is good press. But most brands need to do three things. One, I've heard of the brand, so get some awareness. Two is tell you something about that brand. You should join X because it's got A, B, and C. It has to communicate something to you. And then what they communicate you got to convince you to, I want to join that. So awareness by itself doesn't build a brand, but it's an important first step. So he's really good at making noise and saying, hey, look at me. But if he doesn't have anything important to tell you or relevant to tell you, and what he tells you about the X platform doesn't want to make you sign up for it, and doesn't want to make advertisers say, hey, here's a check, put my product name right next to X, then it's irrelevant. So yes, he's good at getting attention. Yes, he's because of his wealth, people watch every tweet/X he says, every comment he makes. But in this case, awareness is not the issue. It's, so why should I use X? What's in it for me? Why should I care about it? And until he answers that question, it doesn't matter if now everyone in the world now has an X on their smartphone, and they don't know what it is. It's like any other app. Sooner or later, they're going to hit, let me just delete that app and use Threads or use Instagram or whatever other choices available. So I think this is the final chapter. Could he save Twitter? Probably not. And whether it goes completely away or it just goes mostly away is probably the only question remaining on the table.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Alan.